Good evening. Let us start today's current affairs. Former President, senior Congress leader Pranab Mukherjee died today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he left an indelible mark on the development trajectory of our nation. He left an indelible mark on the development trajectory of our nation. He was an elderly statesman, most respected politician across all political parties. He worked as a finance minister, defense minister, external affairs minister. He was a 13th president of India and remained in office till 2017, one of the sharpest minds of India. He entered into politics in 1969 during Indira Gandhi period. He was a man of all seasons. He was a man of all seasons. After the assassination of Indira, Pranab Mukherjee was away from active politics, that is, away from Congress at that time. And after that, he again entered into Congress fulcrum, and he developed on his own merit. He was a grassroots level politician. It was a story that he had a dream of becoming a prime minister. He became the president of India. He was Bharat Ratna Awadi. What not? He has got all the laurels, and he told once, from the lamps in a village near Bengal, I am now living in chandeliers in Delhi. My life have seen many and much momentous journey. So let us give a big salute to a man who contributed to the country with his all genius and audacity, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. The next important current affairs. United Nations guidelines on access to social justice for people with disabilities. UN's guidelines on access to social justice for people with disabilities. Actually, December 3rd is International Disabled Day. We have UN Convention on Disabilities. India also in 2016 made a law, new law for disabilities, Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. Earlier we used to have 1995 Act, now that was repealed, we have one more act. And the social justice legal issues, still disabled people are not having proper access. They are not properly educated in legal issues, and they don't have proper access. UN have released first ever guidelines. UN have released first ever guidelines on access to social justice for people with disabilities to make it easier for them to access to justice systems. To make it easier for them to access to justice systems. There are 10 principles UN set. All the principles are very important for disabled people. In your GS mains, there's a topic, GS paper 1, called social issues. In social issues, children issues, women issues, elderly people issues, in the same way, you have disabled people issues also. In that, kindly remember, recently UN have issued guidelines to social justice for people with disabilities, to social justice for people with disabilities. And the next most important news for this year prelims, I expect this question this year prelims itself. All the time you will get questions with respect to NASA, SpaceX, etc. Questions with respect to NASA, SpaceX, etc. And this is the launch of next batch of satellites by SpaceX Starlink project. SpaceX is going to launch more than 40,000 satellites, around 40,000 satellites in a project called Starlink project. Starlink, Starlink project. What is this Starlink project all about? This is for your information. See, earlier we used to have laptops and personal computers. To get internet, we used to connect it with some line. We used to have optical fiber networks, all these things. After that, we have Bluetooth technology, Wi-Fi technology, all the other technologies. Now, even today, in most of the remote areas in the world, internet facility is not available, particularly without any optical fiber network. So to give signals through different modes, Google 5 years back started a project called Project Loon, LON, by using balloons. That was not successful. Facebook also launched a project called Aquila, Aquilla. That is also not successful. Now, SpaceX wanted to have a constellation of around 40,000 satellites in low Earth orbit. Constellation of around 40,000 satellites in low Earth orbit, so that at all the time in all the spaces you will get internet connection with signals. So this is the aim of the project Starlink. Very important. Starlink project is very important. SpaceX project to provide internet connectivity. These satellites, these 40,000 satellites, will beam the signals. It will give the signals to the earth, providing internet connectivity even to the remote areas. Providing internet connectivity even to the remote areas. Okay, this is the thing. And next important news is Caucus 2020. KAVKAZ. Caucus 2020. Caucus 2020 project, this military exercise, actually, it is going to be held in Russia in the second half of this month. India has to participate, but India said, I'm not going to participate. China and Pakistan are also participating. Shanghai Cooperation Organization countries, Central Asian countries are also participating. SCO countries, Central Asian countries are also participating. So India said, I'm not going to participate. India did not want to participate in a military exercise with China. In a military exercise with China. You all know that the tensions between India and China are escalating now. There's a warning, counter warnings, all these things are going on. India also sent its ships to South China Sea. Now, in this circumstance, India is not at all willing to attend Caucus 2020. Caucus 2020. Just remember that. Next. Next important news. Ja- you all know Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said that he is going to retire from Prime Minister post. He is going to resign for ulcerative colitis, for a disease. He got a disease called ulcerative colitis. And he said Japan USA ties will remain unchanged. Even after quitting from his Prime Minister post, Japan US relations will remain unchanged. This is the news. Next important news. Prime Minister Modi have given Man Ki Baat speech yesterday. Modi ji have given Man Ki Baat speech yesterday. Prime Minister Modi called upon startups and entrepreneurs to team up for toys, pointing out that India's share in world toy market is only 7 lakh crore rupees. India's market in global toy market is very minuscule, very small. He asserted that country has a potential to become a hub of the industry. Country has a potential to become a hub of the industry. He spoke about Atmanirbhar Bharat, vocal for local. He spoke about Atmanirbhar Bharat, vocal for local, asking all startups to go for local products. He also said India started app innovation challenge, recent app innovation challenge. So Prime Minister Modi have specifically mentioned on toy manufacturing industry, vocal for local, and app innovation challenge. And he also said this year, this year the Kharif sowing have increased. 7% have increased 7%. Paddy nearly 10% sowing was increased. Pulses 5% increased. Oil seeds around 13% increased. Cotton around 3% increased. So this year Kharif sowing was increased. That is very important. And Modi also spoke about dogs. Modi also spoke about dogs. Modi mentioned about Indian breed dogs, Indian breed of dogs, how they can help for our security also. How they can help for our security. For example, PM Modi said about Sophie. Sophie, a dog which saved lives which worked in the Special Frontier Force. PM Modi spoke about Sophie, SOPHIA. And Modi also spoke about Vida, VIDA. Vida is a black Labrador. Vida is a black Labrador from an army dog unit in the Northern Command, which was instrumental in detecting the mines. Which was instrumental in detecting the mines. So PM Modi spoke about various dogs I wish to tell you some dog varieties, dog breeds in India. Kindly make a research on that. So, Mudol hounds, Mudhol, Mudol hounds, Karnataka and Maharashtra. Himachali hounds, Himalayan region. And Rajapalayam hounds, Rajapalayam breed in Tamil Nadu. Kanni and Chippi Parai, Kanni Kanni and Chippipipari, Kanni and Chippaparai in Tamil Nadu. Kombai, Combai, Kombai also in Tamil Nadu. Modi mentioned about all these varieties. And in his speech, Modi mentioned about toys, Modi mentioned about dogs. You need to remember the varieties. For example, toys, if you see in Telangana, Nirmal Koye Bammalu. 80 Koppaka toys. In Andhra, Kondapalli toys. In Karnataka, Chennapatnam toys. Chennapatna toys. So these are all very famous toys. So you need to remember toys and dogs, both varieties in India. Okay, local varieties you need to remember in Modi's speech. This is Prime Minister Modi Man Ki Baat program. Next important news, I am telling this news from Live Mint. Tractor industry should be facilitated to use digital tools to benefit small farmers. In India, tractor sales reached a new height, particularly with more and more people depending on farm sector. This year, tractor sales have become very great this year. And tractors have come to India for the first time 100 years back, around 1914 in Punjab. In Punjab, after independence, Central Tractor Organization was set up. After independence, Central Tractor Organization was set up to promote use of tractors in agriculture. In 1951, in 1951, the tractor industry was included in the core sector. In 1951, the tractor industry was included in the core sector, and if you want to make a tractor, you need to have a license. So, if you want to sell a tractor, it's a license. You need to, if you want to start a tractor making industry, you need to have a license. And in the early days, Eicher Tractors Limited, Mahindra and Mahindra, they all have come. Finally, track introduction of tractors started more and more through mechanization of agriculture in Green Revolution. After Green Revolution, tractors got a big market. After 1991, the delicensing of tractor industry have taken place. After 1991, delicensing of tractor industry have taken place. This is very important. And next news is asteroid double the size of Egyptian pyramid. Asteroid double the size of Egyptian pyramid to enter into Earth's orbit. To enter into Earth's orbit. The name of the pyramid of Egypt is Giza. So the one asteroid double the size of Egyptian pyramid Giza is going to come into the Earth's orbit. Earlier it was feared that it might collide with the Earth. No, it is not colliding. It is just entering into the Earth's orbit. It is not colliding, just entering into the Earth's orbit. Next important news. Indian chess is in headlines today. Indian team at the FIDE online Olympiad created history by winning gold. Indian team at the FIDE online Olympiad created history by winning gold. In another first, it was shared with Russia. In another first, the gold medal was shared with Russia. So these are all the important news for today. We'll meet with some other news tomorrow. Thank you.